Welcome to Energy Scout News and Information. I'm Brian Bucklider. Leading off today with a look at the international news, Iraq is ready to sign its first big international oil deal since the fall of Saddam Hussein. This one is a $1.2 billion oil service contract with China. Iraq has been in talks with the China National Petroleum Company for about a year. In related news, Iraq has pointed a finger at several major international companies. Karim Wahid, Iraq's electricity minister, said several major producers tried to overcharge the war-torn nation and ignored their humanitarian duty to help develop Iraq's battered oil industry. Kentucky's Attorney General has issued civil subpoenas to Marathon Oil Company in a possible lawsuit against the petroleum giant. Several state officials have asked the Federal Trade Commission and the Department of Justice to review a 1997 merger of Marathon and Ashland Oil in an effort to gauge its effect on gas prices in the region. Still to come, a gas leak in the North Sea, but first, let's take a look at some people on the move. Claudio Descalzi has been appointed CEO of Eni's Exploration and Production Division. Sam Muncy has resigned as Sesal's non-executive director, and Raymond Milkovich plans to retire in 2009 as chairman and CEO of Foster Wheeler. Statoil Hydro has shut down a natural gas field in the North Sea after discovering a leak in the pipeline. The pipeline will shut down until repairs scheduled for spring of 2009 are completed, although the company may be able to get the work done earlier. And finally, the United States government plans to spend $600 million over the next several years to spur development of biofuels and other new energy sources. The funding will help private investors who are spending millions to find ways to cut the nation's dependence on oil. And before we wrap things up, let's check on the financial market with a look at today's leaders and laggards. Topping the leaderboard is ICO, up 3.96%. And on the laggards list, Tangasco was down 10.06%. And in strange news today, somebody's been watching too many Dirty Harry movies. Take a look.
5-year-old great-grandmother discovered a side door of her house had been kicked in. She calmly grabbed her loaded pistol to stop the intruder right in his tracks.
Got my gun, and I turned around. I said, "You've had it." And I took the gun, and he turned around and looked at me.
So you pulled the hammer back.
I was ready.
The intruder was caught red-handed in Lita's bedroom. He was attempting to steal her jewelry.
I said, "What are you doing in my house?"
Listen, you're pointing the gun at him.
I had the gun on him then, I had it on him before he turned around.
Trooper Brian Burden told us Lita Smith ordered the burglar to call 911 from the phone in her living room. Then she said, "Hand the phone to me." She told 911 to send the state police. And when they arrived, they were in for a little surprise.
She had him prone down on the floor, laying face down with his hands out.
It's like Granny solving some of her own crimes before she sits down to murder, she wrote. And that's it for today's Energy Headlines. If you have any news from the oil patch, be sure to contact us at EnergyScout.com. And don't forget to join us tomorrow for more news in the energy industry. For Energy Scout News and Information, I'm Brian Bucklider.
Make the day a little better.